This is Coco's go home video, and I'm just going to demonstrate all of her commands for you. So we're going to start with stay. So I'm going to put her into a sit, and then I put my hand flat out for stay. When I'm ready to release her, the word is okay. Here we're going to do a down stay, and Coco is really excited. She keeps trying to lick my arm. She's interested in my watch. But eventually, as you can see, it just persists, and she goes down. So now I'm going to get her attention and tell her to stay. It's okay if she flops over. She's been really goofy the last few days. So there you see, I told her okay, and she came right on up to me. So here we're just practicing some leash walking. Anytime you change direction, you want to say this way. It helps to give handler focus, so she's paying attention to you and where your body is going, and she follows you fluidly. Now here you'll notice she goes to sniff something, and I tell her to leave it, and I just hold the tension on the leash until she gives me slack and comes back, and then I immediately reward. Here we are just practicing her sit, so it's a hand gesture up for sit. Again, we're practicing stay, and you notice she broke her stay, so I just went and placed her back into the same spot and repeated. She started to look like she was gonna go again, so I just gave her a little warning by going and you can see she ended up staying right in place, and then I told her her release word. So now we're gonna do a down. And as you can see, she got distracted, so I just regain her focus, and then I give her the command again. The only time you want to repeat a command is if you've lost the dog's attention and you're able to regain it. You never just want to sit there saying down, down, down. That will lose its meaning, and then the dog will eventually no longer listen to that command. So as you can see, I'm just waiting and keeping my hand in the same place. That way she knows this is what I want her to do, and she'll get her reward when she does it. Now we're just doing stay, and then a release. This way. Now we're just practicing some leash walking in a very busy store where she was getting a lot of attention. So anytime she starts to pull ahead, I'm going to tell her, and then if she hits the end of the leash, we're just going to hold that tension and tell her this way and wait for her to give that slack. You never want to pull the dog back or reposition the dog with the leash. That'll only teach the dog to pull harder. As you can see here, she pulled to my right side, so all I did was get her attention. I repositioned my body so she was on my left side instead of repositioning her.
Coco. Good. Good job. This way. Coco. Good.
Now I'm going to show you how we work on kennel. So Coco is already in the kennel, and I'm going to tell her wait. And I'm not going to let her come out by giving her her release word until I tell her to. So if she were to barge out of that door before I said okay, I would just simply close the door gently and wait for her attention to come back and tell her to wait again.
Wait.
As you can see, Coco is doing really well with this command. She has a lot of patience, and I'm sure that she's going to have the same patience with you.
Coco. Come. Good.
Now there, I just told her to come, and she was off camera, unfortunately, but I waited until I had eye contact from her. I wanted to make sure that I had her attention before I gave her a command. You want to make sure you have your dog's attention before giving any command, but especially when doing things like recall. That way when you say come, they're looking at you and they're ready to come to you and they know you're talking to them.
Good sit.
So here we're going to work on her place command. Place is where you have a dog go onto a bed or an object to stay for upwards of 20 to 30 minutes without having to be corrected.
Okay.
It's good for when you have people coming over, they can have a place to go to. So all we're going to do is I'm going to point and tell her place. I'm going to wait for her to settle into the place. And if she were to try and get up, like this, I would just go and move forward with my body. That way she knew I wanted her to stay there.
Okay.
And then the release for place is okay.
Good job.
She's doing really well with this. Again, when it comes to sitting in one place and being patient and waiting until she's told to move, she just does really well.
Place. Good place. Good. Okay. Go. Good. Good girl. Go.
So here we're going to work on our drop it and leave it. So I'm just trying to get her engaged with the toy, getting really excited about it, and then I'm going to place a treat right to her nose. I'm going to hold it right on her nose. That way she smells it, she knows that's more interesting, and she will let go of the toy. As I'm doing that, I just tell her, drop it. As you can see, she's really excited about this toy, so I grab the toy, I put the treat to her nose, and I tell her, drop it.
Get the toy. Here's your toy. Get the toy. Coco. Drop it. Good. Good drop it. Coco.
So here we're going to work on leave it. As you can see, she at the end of the leash, and I waited until she returned with slack, and then I rewarded for leaving it alone. So again, when she sees the item you want her to leave, you tell her leave it and wait for her attention to return to you. Doing this on a leash for the first few times can be really beneficial because you have that extra added protection to know that she's not going to go for what you're telling her not to. So we're just going to run through drop it again.
Get it. Coco. Drop it. Good.
And then just as a nice ending to this video, I'm going to show you how Coco greets people. This is at our local Gander Outdoor, and they love when we bring our puppies in. As you can see, she just goes up to the person, loves on them, sits. She's very calm. She's not very boisterous. As you can see, the employee is very surprised that she is so calm. There's another employee that's going to be coming over in a minute, and again, you'll see, even with the employee at her face level, she just sits there, loves up for the attention, and even ends up rolling over in the end.
Nope, that's not you. It must be tough to do this and then they go. Sorry, Coco. Are you teething?
Yeah, but she's just
playing.
mouthy.
She's mouthy.
It's okay. I'm mouthy too
Good
sometimes.
girl.
Big belly scratch. Oh my goodness.
She's like, I will lay her all day.